What's up, everybody? This is part 3 of the exhaust setup here. Now, even with this 2¼ foot long section or whatever it was, still a little short, so I had to use the 2½ to go help it to go over this little extra area here, so it kind of connected the two pipes. I'm going to weld all this together, and it's going to be one long extension, so everything stays where it's got to be. The tailpipe's up and in place. I got it hung up on the hanger in the back. I'll show you guys in a second or so. I want to say, first I'm going to put a couple tacks down to hold them stuff in place, and then go little by little back toward the back bumper with little tacks and welds. And then I'm gonna, so I could adjust things where I want to make sure everything's nice and up high for clearance, and everything's not hitting anything else that's not supposed to be hitting. So that being said, I'm gonna turn back the welder back on. My helmet's getting thrown in the trash because it's garbage. Then find another one to use. We're going to put our round on this middle pipe here. And then go from there. I'm only going to put a couple tacks so I can still move it where I want it. If I have to snip the tacks and then adjust things. And from there, we'll move forward. Other side here. And wire in here. Alright. I have to do something with this ground, which for some strange reason doesn't want to stay. It does not want to stay. There we go. That'll work. Readjust this here again. I want this to sit where it's going to be not clanging and banging against anything. Where it's supposed to be. Alright. We're going to start with this piece here. I had to use to adapt to the muffler to the pipe. Fix our wire again. Usually always have problems with this welder, so see you in a second. Okay, now that we got that welding wire all fixed, because it got all tangled inside the machine, so we had to straighten that out. Now we can get back to what we were doing. Another little tack here on the bottom. This side, put another little tack. I keep this tip clean so I get a good weld. this next section here, put a couple tacks in that. Make sure everything is where I want it to be, lined up, and not gonna bang against anything when the exhaust rattles or whatever. Clean this tip off. I see you put a mooch on there. Give it a reason to arc against anything else, clog anything up. We could have a nice clean weld. Put another piece. That should be good right there. Right here. Come over on the other side. A couple tacks over here. Again, just so that it doesn't move on us when we go to another one up here, another tack. Alright, that should keep that where I want it. Now, brush this over here for a second. And then make sure I go over it, make sure everything's still good where it is and where I want it. It is all clearance for the gas tank. The track bar clearance is good. Everything is good where it needs to be. So now everything's still where I need it. I can fully weld everything and essentially be done with this. At least with the exhaust part, and we can fire it back up and hear how it sounded with the good stuff on it. now, any gaps where there's a little bit of, where the pipes maybe aren't tight together, so you're not filling a giant gap and making air gaps for what in between the weld and making it burn through or pop or whatever the case. Grab yourself a hammer. By tapping the pipe, you're hitting with the hammer, you're knocking it closer to the other pipe, closing that gap, so you can weld get a better weld out of it. Using the same diameter piping, you're not going to usually have that problem with the same diameter piping, but being that I had to use a 2.5 here to the muffler body itself, then move forward so that it meets the 2.25 piping and slides over it. That gap is what's gonna basically only what I had to hit. So we'll finish welding that up. Freaking popcorn welds. welds are ugly. Ugly. But that's okay. They don't need to be pretty, they just need to be strong. It's a daily driver, and even that, at that, if I was building a race car, yeah, or something I was going to show, a show vehicle, you want your welds a little prettier. And there are tricks about that too. You can grind the welds a little bit smoother, and then, you know, which I might or might not do. Just make them a little, smooth them out a little bit, and then throw some paint over it to make it so it don't rust. But which usually, even if you don't grind them, you want to put some kind of paint protection on there so that it doesn't rust. But anyway, they're not pretty. They don't have to be. This isn't a show vehicle. It's a daily driver. They just need to be strong. I've never claimed to be a professional welder, as it is anyway. Can I weld? Yes. Am I a professional welder? Hell no. The wire got fucked up again. Well, gotta fix that. Yep. Put a little bit more on that side after I fix the wiring. Then cut that back section off for the tailpipe and weld that up. Alright everybody, now you can get to see my ugly booger weld. I got the muffler welded at the beginning, muffler welded at the end to the adapter. There we go, now you can see. Adapter to that ugly weld to the 2 1/4, then that ugly weld to the factory 2 1/4 extension to the 2 1/4. There. Factory 2 1/4 extension to the 2 1/4 factory tailpipe, up over the axle, and out to the back. Now, this is where, now that that part's all done and welded, we're going to get to the tip. So for now, I'm going to slice off this section here, where this big bulbous ugly thing is, cut it, and then I can mount my tip, get it at the right side to side and up to down wherever angle I want, throw a couple tacks on it, and be good to go. So I'm gonna get that set up now, and then we'll get back to you from there. Okay, now before we go into the tip, I was telling you in one of the other parts of one of the other videos, at least, about cleaning up your chrome or chrome tips, or if you got bumpers, whatever the case. This one obviously probably a little bit far gone because you can see some surface rust. Maybe it'll come off, we'll see. But I'm going to try and start with some good old glass cleaner. You could probably use other kind of liquid products or whatever for cleaning, but this is where the main work comes into play. This is a steel wool. This stuff here. This is the number 4 zeros, which is a super fine. It's probably one of the finest you can get. The 000 might work as well, but anything less than a 000 or anything less than 000 would be probably too aggressive and scratch your chrome. 000 and the 4 zeros like this one is should do you pretty good. So let's give it a good old spray and see what happens here. Just gonna lube it up a little bit with the glass cleaner. And now, see what happens. Hopefully this will get a lot of the other surface rust stuff off too. If not, I'm not too worried, but it should at least clean it up a bit. All right, let me get a rag and we'll wipe it right here. There you go. A cleaned area right here, from here to here, and then from obviously from here to there, you could see all the scrunginess still on there. So it did pretty good. I'm gonna turn this here, loosen the vise, turn this, and then we'll give it another shot. All right, I'd say it came out pretty decent. And there's a little stain there for where it kind of melted the plastic against the bumper. Right there, as you can see. But not bad, I'm happy with it. So for now, I'm gonna put this right here. I still gotta cut that other section off so I could weld that back on to there to where I want it. So I'll set the camera up and I'll cut that off, and we'll go through the journey of cutting that off and welding on the other one. All right, let's make some noise cutting off this here old section. I want to cut this after the hanger area, because if I cut it before the hanger area, then it's going to make the tailpipe hang, and everything I just did, having that welded where it's at with the jacks in place so that it hung up tight, will flop all over place on me. So if I keep this, cutting it after the hanger, I'm going to be able to keep it still hung up tight where I want it. So we're going to go ahead and cut this right about there. All done. Put that there for now. Wow. Now we can place on the new old tip, whatever you want to call it.